Yeah, I'm finally getting around to work on this little John Deere STX38. It's been a while because I've had so many other things to do. But we're finally getting onto this thing. We'll get back over here on the front end parts in just a second. I know John Deere is supposed to be such a fabulous machine, but there ain't no way of taking this spindle off as well. You could cut it off and re-weld it, but there's no way to remove that spindle. The only reason I was going to try to do that was because this was absolutely stuck tight on both sides. I mean, I couldn't. I took a 2-foot bar here, this old dude, and after I took the wheels off, I was able to take this fitting out, and I even took a drill and got some of the damn grease and built up old dirt and everything. WD-40, or actually it was what do you call it, PV blaster, in here, and squirted the grease in it and kept moving, and finally it finally did work loose. But if you happen to have one of these lawnmowers, and I guess some of the others, they do provide a grease zerk on there, so it's advisable to go ahead and grease that periodically, because if you don't, it'll lock up so tight. I couldn't move that steering wheel hardly 3 inches up there. Had a hard time getting in here on my open air garage the way it was, but we got that done and treat them up. Like I say, be sure you grease these things on these, because they're not replaceable. You have to try, I guess, replace the whole axle if something happened, unless you want to cut it off, which that's kind of a job, and you got to get this back exactly right and everything. So anyway, that's enough for this right here. We'll get on some other part here in a minute. All right, this is the
there's probably not enough
electric clutch off that John Deere out there, and this pulley was locked up. This bearing was solid. It wasn't turning. As you can see, there's really no rust in it. And another good idea by John Deere is you can't get this bearing out. You can't replace that.
Do as much as I can on
they got little
transmission and transfer case.
Stake marks
here on the
various places, so you could grind them off and get it out, but I don't know if it's tape put back in. So what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm just going to go ahead and clean this all out with the carb cleaner.
Please subscribe.
Just blow out if there's any crud in there.
Bye-bye.
Then I'm going to just keep on jamming grease in this thing, you know, until we get her back together, and I'll put the seal back on it and everything. So I think that's probably going to work all right. Like I said, it don't look rusty or nothing. I don't know why it's tight, but it was, and probably hadn't used for a while, and the old grease just packed up on it. All right, that's enough of this part for a while. We'll see what we get on to next. Well, I know that don't show you much, but I put jammed all that grease back in it really tight, spun it, more grease, more. After I cleaned it out with carburetor cleaner and blew air into it and get the crud out. And that works good. It doesn't spin real free, but it don't make any noise. It's just like a new bearing ought to be, you know, they're not really all that loose. But so that's good for that part. And another thing, this old engine's pretty oily, and one of the guys I'm subscribed to said that these are prone to have head gasket problems, and that very well might be. What's the problem? I ain't got him starting motor yet on here. I've been just kind of getting some of the stuff that needs to be done before you even do anything to it, hardly done. So, and we're going to look at the deck here in just about a minute too. Now, other than being dirty, that deck is not in too bad a shape. It's not all that rusty. It's got a little bit of debris right there, but we're going to turn this deck over and I'll see if you can see anything wrong there. If you're looking at this underside of that deck, and if you notice very closely, you might see something kind of wrong. You might say, well, what could possibly be wrong with underneath an old rusty deck like that? Well, the blades look real good, and probably a reason for that, because apparently they've been cutting on the backside. They're not on there right. They should be turned over, and so we'll get that taken care of later on. Kind of clean up and grease what needs to grease. All right, well, that might be it for this video. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and commenting.